Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Let me ask you something real quick. What if I told you that the quarter rattling around in your cup holder could be worth $1 million? Yeah, $1 million. That's not a typo. Not a prank. Not a dream. I'm talking about the 2015 Kissachi State Quarter. That's right, the one with the wild turkey flying through the Louisiana skies. You might have seen it. You might have even spent it on a soda. But what if I told you that one of these little birds took flight and landed straight into millionaire territory? Stick around, because today we're diving headfirst into the story of the 2015 Kissachi Quarter, the design, the details, the wild errors, the jaw-dropping auction prices, and how a coin that cost 25 cents can now change your life. I'll even throw in a personal story that involves me, a gas station cashier, and a coin that made me question my entire savings strategy. This is the kind of video you don't want to skip, especially if you're the type who checks their pocket change every night, just in case. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be flipping over every quarter you see like your retirement depends on it. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. The Kissachi Quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, which launched back in 2010. The series featured national parks and forests from every state, and in 2015, Louisiana got its moment to shine with the Kissachi National Forest Quarter. This one came out of the Denver Mint, which is where the D comes in, and now, if you've seen the design, you know it's a stunner. There's a wild turkey in full flight, wings wide, tail feathers out like it's showing off, and the background features those dense southern pines that give Kissachi its name. It's not just pretty, it's patriotic. And in coin collecting, beauty mixed with a rare mint error is where the money lives. Okay, let's talk turkey, literally. Most quarters are worth, well, a quarter. But some, like this one, hit the jackpot due to a little thing called rarity and condition. And sometimes, mint errors. One specific 2015 Kissachi quarter sold for around $1 million at a private collector's auction. Why? Because it had a few things going for it. It was in mint state, meaning flawless condition. It had a rare die crack running through the turkey's wing, and here's the kicker, it was a double die error. That's when the design is accidentally stamped twice by the press, causing the image or letters to look slightly shadowed or doubled. It's like a printing hiccup, and collectors love hiccups. Plus, this coin was slabbed and graded by PCGS at a nearly perfect MS69. That's just one tick away from perfection, folks. And in the coin world, that's gold. Or in this case, $1 million turkey. Let me break it down like a dance move. There are 3 key factors that make a coin valuable. If there's only a handful of them, people will fight over them. If it's sharp, clean, and shiny, it's like finding an untouched Elvis record. The weirder, the better. Mistruck? Off-center? Double die? Bring it on. So if your Kissachi quarter has a crack, a doubling, or even a slight misalignment, you better not spend it on vending machine snacks. Now let me tell you a little story. About 5 years ago, I was driving through Arkansas, tank nearly empty, kids asleep in the back seat, and I pull into a gas station. I grab a coffee, toss a handful of change on the counter, and the young guy behind the register picks up a quarter and goes, "Whoa. This turkey looks like it's got a ghost wing." I shrugged. Thought he was joking, but a few weeks later, I'm scrolling online and I see it. A coin that looked exactly like the one I dropped on that counter had sold at auction for nearly $100,000. And it wasn't even the $1 million one. I spit out my coffee and seriously considered driving back to Arkansas just to shake that kid down. That's when I got serious about checking my change. Alright, here's the part you'll want to write down or just replay about 10 times. It should have a D below "In God We Trust," a turkey with a doubling on the feathers or wings, a fine die crack running through the wings or forest background, raised or distorted letters on Kissachi or E pluribus unum, strong, sharp detail and no visible wear, mint. State condition, the best way to really know if it's valuable? Get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Yeah, you'll pay a small fee, but it could be the smartest investment you ever make. Go to the bank, get rolls of quarters, and search. Old collections pop up here. Ask if you can swap your cash for change. Coin shows and collector groups, great for education and trading. You don't need to be rich to start coin collecting, but you might end up that way. Now as of today, a flawless 2015 Kissachi quarter with the right error and grade can fetch you anywhere from $50,000 up to $1 million depending on demand, condition, and auction timing. That's life-changing money for a coin that literally cost a quarter. Even more modest examples without the major error can still be worth hundreds or thousands if the grade is high. So if you've got one, don't just throw it in a jar. That little turkey might be your golden goose. The full story on the 2015 Kisatchi State Quarter and how it went from pocket change to million-dollar superstar. Isn't it wild to think the very coin that someone might drop on the floor of a diner without a second thought could actually pay off your mortgage? Listen, you don't have to be a numismatic expert or some rare coin wizard to get in on this. All you need is a little curiosity, a good eye, and maybe a magnifying glass. Who knew making money could be as simple as flipping through the coins in your change dish? If you learned something today, or if you're now frantically checking your pockets, then mission accomplished. Before you go back to digging through your couch cushions, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash it like you're cracking open a fresh roll of quarters. Because here, we talk all about coins that could make you rich. We've got tips, stories, and insider secrets on everything from Lincoln cents to million-dollar quarters, and I promise you won't want to miss what's coming next. This is your buddy in the coin hunt, signing off. Go check your change, and who knows, maybe next time, it'll be your story we're telling. Hey, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and accidental millionaires, welcome back to the channel where pocket change turns into life change. Before you rush off to dig through your old junk drawer or that coin jar sitting on top of your fridge, let me drop a little bomb on you. That 1996 Washington quarter you've probably used in a vending machine or flipped to decide who pays for pizza could actually be worth $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right, that little 25-cent piece from 1996, minted in Philadelphia, could turn you into a coin collecting legend. Today, we're diving deep into this unassuming millionaire maker of a quarter. We're talking how it happened, why it's worth that much, what makes your quarter special, and the steps to take if you hit the jackpot. And of course, I'll be sharing a hilarious story about how I almost spent one of these bad boys without realizing what I had. So buckle up, grab a drink, maybe even that coin jar, because this one's a ride you don't want to miss. Alright, let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been a part of American pockets since 1932. The 1996 version was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P mint mark, and while millions were produced, not all were created equal. And now you might be thinking, how can something with millions of copies be worth over $1 million? And the answer is simple: rarity within abundance. It's not about how many were made. It's about how many have the right kind of error, condition, or freak of nature minting twist that makes collectors throw their wallets at it. One known 1996 P was struck on a wrong planchet, meaning it was made using a metal disc intended for a different coin. This kind of error is super rare and highly desirable. It's like finding a typo on the Declaration of Independence. That's elite territory. Most coins get scratched and beat up pretty quickly. But the few that survive in near perfect shape? Those are gold mines, well, quarter mines. There are collectors out there who've got more money than sense. When a unique, pristine coin hits the market, bidding wars break out like it's eBay meets WWE. The rarest known 1996 P error quarter that sold for over $1 million was graded as a near-perfect specimen by PCGS. And that's what catapulted its value into the stratosphere. Alright, let's get to the part you've been waiting for. How do you know if your 1996 P quarter is the one? Check the mint mark. Flip your quarter over and look for the tiny P on the front of the coin, to the right of Washington's ponytail. No P? You've got the wrong date or mint. Check for errors. Look for unusual thickness, missing details, off-center images, double stamping, or even coins that look like they were squished sideways. These are all signs of minting mistakes. Examine the condition. This part is critical. If your coin is banged up like a dollar store toy, it's not worth millions. But if it's shiny, flawless, and looks like it never even went through a vending machine, now we're talking. Get it graded. Weigh it. Some error coins were struck on foreign planchets or different metals. A regular quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is off, even just a little, it could be something rare. If your quarter ticks all those boxes, congrats. You might be sitting on a retirement plan in the shape of George Washington's face. Okay, let me tell you a personal story. This was maybe 10 years ago. I was at a diner with my buddy Dave. We're talking pancakes the size of steering wheels. The bill comes out to $12.75, and I'm feeling fancy, so I toss in a handful of quarters I had in my pocket. I kid you not, 2 days later I'm watching a YouTube video just like this. and they're talking about this exact 1996p quarter. I start sweating. I rush back to the diner like I left a baby there. I'm asking the waitress, the manager, even checked under the chairs hoping I could find it. Long story short, no luck. That quarter? Probably in someone's couch cushions now. But that's the moment I learned just how real this coin hunting stuff is, and that, my friends, is why I now check every single coin that passes through my hands. I even trained my nephew. He thinks he's just playing a coin game, little does he know, he's in Coin Millionaire Boot Camp. Get it graded. Use a reputable third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. It might cost a bit up front, but it's like getting a certificate of authenticity. Buyers love that. Don't sell too fast. Don't just toss it up on eBay and take the first offer. These coins have auctioned for hundreds of thousands up to that sweet $1.1 million mark. Be patient. Use a licensed coin auction house, get a second opinion. Even pros can miss something. If you're not sure what you have, take it to a local coin show or an experienced dealer. But be smart, some folks will try to buy your treasure for pennies, and remember, your coin doesn't need to be the $1 million one to be valuable. Even rare 1996p quarters and lower grades can fetch a few $100. That's still not bad for a 25-cent fine. Check your change. Seriously, look at every quarter, every penny, every nickel that passes through your hands. Because that next trip to the grocery store or gas station could be the moment you pass up $1 million payday. The 1996p Washington quarter is living proof that even in a sea of millions, a few rare coins can shine, and if you've got one, you could be the next accidental millionaire. Hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss the next video, where we talk about another unsuspecting coin that might just be worth enough to buy you a beachfront condo. Drop a comment below if you've ever found anything weird or rare in your change. I'd love to hear your story, and who knows, it might be the next video. Until then, happy hunting, my friends. Keep checking those pockets, and remember, wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes, it comes from your washing machine. Hey folks, gather around and listen close because today I'm about to tell you a story that sounds like something straight out of a movie. Imagine this. You're fishing around in your car's cup holder for some loose change to pay for a gas station soda, and out comes a simple-looking 2010 Mount Hood quarter. You look at it. Nothing fancy, right? Just another quarter. Wrong. That little piece of metal could be worth $1.2 million. Yes, you heard me right. 1 quarter. 25 cents. Worth $1.2 million. That's not a typo. That's real money. Enough to pay off your house, buy a boat, or even that overpriced massage chair your brother-in-law swears by. Today, we're going deep into the world of the 2010p Mount Hood quarter. We'll break down what makes it so special, how you can spot one, the story behind it, and yep, I'll even tell you about the time I nearly spent one without realizing it. Buckle up, because if you've ever dismissed your spare change as pocket lint, this is going to blow your mind. And hey, stick around till the end because I'll share some pro tips on how to actually make money from old coins sitting in your house right now. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy life-changing coin stories and millionaire possibilities hiding in your couch cushions. Let's go back to 2010. We were still recovering from the financial crisis, smartphones were starting to get smart, and the US Mint was busy printing quarters for the America the Beautiful series. One of those quarters? The Mount Hood National Forest Edition. Minted in Philadelphia. Hence the tiny little P you'll find on the coin, assuming you've got a lucky one. Now, Mount Hood is in Oregon, and let me tell you, it's a beautiful place. Snow-capped peaks, thick forests, and hiking trails that'll turn your knees into jelly. But nobody thought the coin they made to honor it would ever be worth over $1 million. It was supposed to be a collector's item, yes, but not a millionaire maker. But life has a funny way of surprising us, doesn't it? Here's the thing. Not every 2010 Mount Hood quarter is worth millions. If that were the case, we'd all be rich and I'd be filming this from a yacht. The $1 million Mount Hood quarter has some very specific traits. First off, it needs to be a 2010 with the P Mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Flip your quarter and look to the right of Washington's ponytail. That little P is what we're looking for, but the real jackpot comes from mint errors. That's right. Imperfections. Ever see someone get rich from a flaw? Well, it happens in coin collecting. The mounted quarters that are worth serious money tend to have double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet errors. Basically, mistakes made during minting. Double die errors show up when the coin's image is struck twice, creating a shadow or doubling effect, especially noticeable in the lettering. That means United States of America might look like it had one too many cups of coffee. There are even a few known examples with missing edge reads, extra metal blobs, called cuds, and rotated dies. Each of those details can bump your quarter's value from 25 cents to life-changing dollars. One reason is rarity. There are very few mounted quarters with these mint errors in pristine condition. And when I say pristine, I mean graded by companies like PCGS or NGC with high scores MS67 or higher. That's mint state level cleanliness. Basically, no scratches, no signs of wear, just pure shining glory. A few of these high-grade mounted P quarters with visible double die errors have made waves at auctions. One sold in a private collector's auction for $1.2 million. That's right. Someone paid 7 figures for a quarter. Makes you want to go through your piggy bank with a microscope, doesn't it? Now, before you go tossing your kids off the Wi-Fi so you can search eBay for 2010 quarters, take it slow. Most of them are still worth just 25 cents. But the rare ones? They're out there, folks. You just have to know what to look for. Let me tell you a little story that still makes me laugh and cringe. Back in 2015, I was helping my cousin clean out his old Ford Bronco. We were getting ready to sell it and he handed me a sandwich bag full of quarters that had been living in the glove compartment since Bush was president. Naturally, I dumped them into the coin jar on the kitchen counter. But one quarter caught my eye. Mount Hood. P mint mark. Slight doubling on Liberty. I paused. Thought maybe it was a trick of the light. Nah, just a regular coin, I told myself. Fast forward 3 years. I'm watching an episode of Antiques Roadshow and they're talking about $1 million Mount Hood quarter. I nearly spit out my coffee. I ran to the coin jar, but guess what? My wife had taken it to the grocery store the week before. Gone. Poof. Into the economy. So yes, I may have spent $1 million coin on a bag of onions and frozen peas. Lesson learned. Always check your coins, my friends. Let's get practical. If you think you've got a 2010 Mount Hood P quarter, here's what you do. First, get a good magnifying glass. We're not talking some dollar store magnifier. Get one with at least 10x zoom. Check for those features we mentioned: double die, missing reads, rotation errors. Then look at the condition. Scratches, discoloration, and wear will bring the value down fast. If your quarter still looks like it just came off the press, you're in better shape than most. If it looks promising, don't clean it. I know that sounds crazy, but collectors want original condition. Cleaning it might actually destroy its value. Get it graded. PCGS or NGC are the gold standards. They'll examine it, verify it, and give you a grade that can be used at auction. Then, get in touch with coin dealers or auction houses. There are specialists out there who handle rare coins, and they'll help you sell to the right buyer. Don't list it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace for $10 and a sandwich. Here's how you can turn this into a long-term hustle. Go to the bank and ask for $10 or $20 in quarters. Search through them at home and look for valuable errors. Old collections often get overlooked. I found a wheat penny at a yard sale once that sold for $450. Not $1 million, but hey, lunch is on me. Websites like CoinTalk or Reddit's or /coins are full of collectors sharing discoveries and giving advice. The official Red Book is a Bible for US coin values. It's like fishing. You might not catch anything today, but the next cast could change your life. The legendary 2010 P Mount Hood quarter. A little 25-cent piece that could be your ticket to a whole new life. It's stories like these that remind us why coin collecting is more than just a quirky hobby. It's history, it's treasure hunting, and sometimes, just sometimes, it's $1 million miracle hiding in plain sight. Before you go turning your couch cushions inside out, do me a favor, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Share this with a friend who always ignores loose change. And most importantly, subscribe for more coin secrets, hidden treasures, and ways to turn pocket change into a fortune. This is your channel name, reminding you never underestimate a coin. You might just be holding a piece of history worth more than your car. Hey there, coin hunters and change checkers. Ever toss a quarter into a vending machine and wonder, did I just give away a fortune for a pack of Skittles? Well, today you might think twice before spending your spare change, because we're talking about a 1966 no-mint Mark Washington quarter dollar that's now worth a jaw-dropping $1.30 million. That's right. One coin. 25 cents when it was made. Worth over $1 million today. No, this isn't a prank. No, it's not Monopoly money. And no, I'm not your crazy uncle who says he paid for college with a bottle cap collection. This is real. And by the time we're done, you're gonna be racing to dig through your sock drawer, couch cushions, piggy banks, and maybe even your neighbor's piggy bank. Just don't get arrested, alright? So buckle up. Grab a cup of coffee, or a bucket of popcorn, whatever you need. Because for the next 50 minutes, we're going deep into the story of the 1966 Washington quarter, why it's so rare, what makes it special, and most importantly, how you can spot one and maybe change your life. Let's roll. Alright, let's hop in the time machine. The year? 1966. The Beatles were still together. Gas was 32 cents a gallon. And the US Mint was going through what we call the Great Coin Crisis. No joke, silver prices were soaring, coin hoarding was at an all-time high, and the government had a serious problem. Everyone was yanking silver coins out of circulation, thinking they'd be worth more later. So in 1965, the mint made a big move. They got rid of silver in quarters completely. Starting then, quarters were made of copper nickel clad instead of 90% silver. And by 1966, the silver quarter was officially history. And here's where things get spicy: not all 1966 quarters were created equal. You've probably noticed that modern quarters have little letters on them: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But during the mid-60s, the mint actually stopped putting mint marks on coins entirely. From 1965 to 1967, all coins came out mint markless to discourage collectors from hoarding them based on where they were made. So, a 1966 quarter without a mint mark? That's normal, but here's the twist: some of those 1966 no mint mark quarters? They weren't just ordinary clad coins. A few of them were struck on leftover silver planchets, basically blank silver discs that were supposed to be retired in 1964. Now we've got a rogue batch of silver coins masquerading as clad coins in 1966 clothing. That's like showing up to a pajama party in a tuxedo. Something ain't right, and if you've got one of those few silver 1966 quarters, you're holding a major minting error and $1 million payday. This rare quarter was accidentally struck on a silver planchet from a previous year. It looks slightly different, lighter color, slightly heavier, and gives off a different ring when dropped on a table. The $1 million versions are in pristine, almost uncirculated condition. Think of it like a classic car. Mint condition is everything. Some rare versions have a mirror-like surface. If it gleams like a disco ball in a coin flip, you might be in luck. The big sales come from coins certified by companies like PCGS or NGC. If they confirm your quarter is the real deal, get ready to start house hunting. A buddy of mine, let's call him Joe because that's his name, was cleaning out his grandfather's coin jar after he passed. Joe didn't know squat about coins. But one quarter looked different, kind of shiny, kind of heavier. He tossed it in his glove box and forgot about it. 6 months later, he stumbled across a video like this one, had the coin checked out, and let's just say, Joe doesn't drive a rusty Honda anymore. True story. So how do you check your own quarters without accidentally dropping $1.3 million into a soda machine? Drop it on a hard surface. Silver rings with a high-pitched sound. Clad coins sound duller. Silver coins have a consistent color on the edge. Modern clad coins have a copper stripe. Use a jeweler's loupe to check for sharp details and any oddities. If you're even suspicious you've got the $1 million coin, send it in to be graded. It could change your life. While you're at it, don't just look for the silver planchet error. Other 1966 quarter errors can be worth thousands. Looks like the coin was printed halfway off the machine. You'll see doubled letters or numbers, especially in the date or Liberty. Part of the coin is missing because it was clipped during minting. Even if you don't hit the $1.3 million jackpot, these errors can fetch hundreds or thousands on the market. If you've got a 1966 no mint mark quarter, don't assume it's just lunch money. That little coin could be the key to your dream home, your retirement fund, or the trip to Hawaii you've been talking about since 1999. Just imagine turning a quarter into $1 million. That's a return on investment Warren Buffett would envy. Dig through old jars, coin rolls, dresser drawers, and grandma's cookie tins, weigh your 1966 quarters, and if anything looks or feels different, don't wait. Have it professionally graded. Now if this video got you thinking, laughing, or reaching for your coin stash, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button. We've got more videos coming your way on rare coins, cash in your pocket strategies, and how to turn ordinary change into extraordinary wealth. Drop a comment if you think you've got something rare. We might even feature it in a future video. And remember, don't just spend your change. Study it, because the next time you find a 25-cent piece, it could just be $1.3 million in disguise. Where your spare change could turn into a dream house, a muscle car, or that beachfront condo you've had on your vision board since 1998. Today's episode is not just about any coin. Nope. We're talking about a small piece of metal that has the potential to blow your mind and fatten your wallet all in one go. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into the story of the 2003 Alabama State Quarter. A coin that's turning heads in the collecting world, and for good reason. This little beauty, with a D mint mark, has a current market value of $1.4 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $140 million. All for a quarter that probably got tossed in a couch cushion next to a stale Cheeto and a lost TV remote. And stick around, because later in the video, I'll share how my dad almost threw away a rare coin like this and how that one moment changed how we look at coins forever. Alright, let's jump in. Let's start with the basics. The Alabama State Quarter was part of the 50 State Quarters program that ran from 1999 to 2008. In 2003, Alabama got its turn. The design? Helen Keller on the back, reading in Braille, with a lovely sprig of longleaf pine and a banner that says Spirit of Courage, and historically significant too. Helen Keller was the first deafblind person to earn a bachelor's degree, so it's a quarter with some major heart behind it, but not all quarters are created equal. Some got minted with just enough of a twist to make collectors go nuts. Enter the 2003 Alabama Quarter. The D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the U.S. Mint's big players. Denver produced millions of these Alabama quarters, so you'd think it'd be no big deal, right? Well, most of them are totally average. Worth 25 cents. Maybe 50 cents if it hasn't been chewed on by a lawnmower. But every now and then, a few of these coins slip through the cracks with extremely rare minting errors, die clashes, or unique features that make them ultra valuable. That's where the $1 million mystery comes in. Where the image looks like it was stamped twice, usually seen on the text or Helen Keller's features where the whole design is shifted, making the coin look like it partied too hard the night before, meaning it was stamped on the wrong type of metal, like a dime blank or foreign coin base, like pristine, untouched, better than factory condition type of perfect. Combine one of those errors with a certified grading of MS68 or higher, and boom, you've got yourself a potential $1 million jackpot. Let me tell you about the auction that really stirred up the community. Just a few years ago, a 2003 Alabama quarter, graded MS68 by PCGS and featuring a dramatic double die obverse, went under the hammer at a major auction house. Bidding started at a modest $5,000. But collectors recognized what they were seeing. A perfect storm of rarity, condition, and historical interest. The bidding escalated like a rocket launch. By the time the gavel dropped, the final price? $1.4 million. People were gasping. Someone fainted. Okay, maybe not, but I wouldn't blame them. My dad's coin jar nightmare. Now let me bring it home with a personal story. Back in the early 2000s, my dad had this massive coin jar. You know the one, an old plastic pretzel container filled to the brim with quarters, nickels, pennies, and about 17 Canadian coins we still don't know how we got. Well, one weekend, we decided to cash it all in. We hauled it over to the Coinstar machine at the grocery store, and the thing ate coins like a kid on Halloween. It wasn't until after we dumped them in that I noticed something odd: a 2003 Alabama quarter with a really strange-looking strike. The braille looked fuzzy, like it had been doubled, and the border wasn't quite centered. I tried to grab it out, but it was too late. That machine swallowed our fortune like it was chewing gum. This day, we joked that we might have tossed away $1 million coin for a receipt that read $32.14. Check your coins, folks. Especially your 2003 Alabama quarters. Let's break it down. If you've got a 2003 Alabama quarter and you want to know if you're sitting on a payday, here's what to look for. If you nodded yes to any of those, don't just toss it in your piggy bank. Get that sucker appraised by a professional. A coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can help you figure out exactly what you've got. Turns out, there's a whole world of collectors and investors who know the value of rare currency. High-end collectors, museums, and wealthy investors see rare coins as both historical artifacts and financial assets, and believe me, a coin with a famous American icon like Helen Keller and a rare minting error? That's a trophy piece. It might look like pocket change, but in the right condition and with the right quirks, it could be worth $1.4 million. That's enough to pay off the mortgage, buy a classic Mustang, and still have enough left for a year of ordering pizza without checking your bank balance. Check your change, look at old coin jars, drawers, and even under the couch. Study the design details, especially the mint mark and lettering, and if you find one that looks off, get it graded by a pro. Don't be like my dad and accidentally feed a fortune into a Coinstar machine. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about coins that are secretly worth millions, hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. Smash the bell so you don't miss the next episode, and drop a comment below if you've ever found something wild in your change. This is the place where coins meet cash, history meets hustle, and ordinary folks like you and me get extraordinary paydays. I'm out, but remember, next time you grab a quarter, take a second look. It might just be your ticket to the Millionaires Club. Hey there, fellow coin hunters and casual change rummagers. Quick question for you. When was the last time you actually looked at the quarter you handed to the vending machine? What if I told you one of those little silvery coins, maybe hiding under your car seat or lost in your couch cushions, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? Yeah. That's not a typo. $1.5 million. For a single quarter. I know what you're thinking. Come on, man, it's just a 1981 Washington quarter. I've had tons of those. But this isn't just any quarter. This one is special. And today, we're going deep, real deep, into the wild world of the 1981 Washington $quarter coin and why this unassuming 25-cent piece has collectors foaming at the mouth and auction houses breaking records. So grab a coffee, kick back, and let's take a ride through history, mystery, and money. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because if this coin is worth a fortune, imagine what else might be lying in your change jar. Now, let's get into it. Let's start with a little context. The 1981 Washington quarter was struck at 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The one we're focusing on today is the Philadelphia mint version, the one with the little P mint mark right above the bar in $quarter. In 1981, inflation was climbing, gas was under $1, MTV had just launched, and folks were rocking mullets without irony. Amid all that, the US Mint was producing millions of coins per day. Over 601 million quarters came out of Philadelphia that year alone. Now here's the kicker. With that many coins, you'd think they'd all be practically identical, right? But nope. In that massive sea of coins, a handful ended up with some freakishly rare errors and incredibly unique traits. And that is where the gold, well, silver in this case, is hiding. It comes down to two magical words: rarity and condition. Some of these 1981 quarters were struck with what's called a transitional error. That's when a coin is struck on a planchet, that's the blank metal disc, meant for a different year or denomination. It's like baking cookies and accidentally using pie crust. It's weird. It's unexpected. And collectors go bananas for it. Some 1981 quarters were struck on planchets from previous years that had a different metal composition, which made them stand out both in look and sound. They might have slightly different weights or a different ring when dropped. A few were even double struck, off-center, or had severe die cracks, basically coin DNA mutations. Combine that with the fact that almost none of these error coins survived in pristine, uncirculated condition, and you've got the perfect storm for sky-high value. Now, get this. A pristine, high-grade 1981 quarter with a rare transitional error or full strike detail was sold in a private auction for a whopping $1.5 million. One coin. That's 6 million gumballs, people. Or like 750,000 hot dogs. Take your pick, look at the mint mark. Make sure there's a P right next to Washington's ponytail. If there's no mint mark, it might be a different error, but today, we want that proud little P. Check for weight. Most quarters from this era weigh around 5.67 grams. If yours weighs significantly more or less, you might have a planchet error. Use a precise digital scale, no, not your kitchen one that's got pancake mix on it. Examine the surface. Look for strong details. Is Washington's hair crisp and defined? Are the eagle's feathers sharp? Weak strikes are common, but strong ones, known as full strike quarters, are rare for this year. Check for errors. Look closely at the edges and rims. Are there doubling marks? Off-center strikes? Cracks? It's like spotting Bigfoot, unusual and exciting. Step 5. Condition is key. A scratched-up pocket coin won't get you 7 figures, but a mint state 67 plus graded by PCGS or NGC just might. That's the kind of coin that looks like it was minted yesterday and handled with silk gloves ever since. Let me take you back a few years. I was visiting my Uncle Joe. Now, Uncle Joe is the kind of guy who still pays for everything in cash and has a mason jar full of change under his kitchen sink. One day, I was helping him clean out his shed when I stumbled across a rusted tin box filled with coins. Most were the usual suspects: wheat pennies, buffalo nickels, a Canadian dime for some reason, but tucked near the bottom was a shiny quarter that looked different. It was a 1981 p. The luster was almost perfect, and the detail on Washington's hair looked like it was carved yesterday. I took it to a coin shop the next day. The guy behind the counter gave it a look, widened his eyes, and said, "Where'd you get this?" Now, mine wasn't the $1 million version. Turns out it had a few tiny scratches, but it still fetched a cool $300. And let me tell you, $300 for a single quarter that spent who knows how long in a musty tin box? That's a win, and that's why I always check my change now. You never know when you're holding something truly rare. First, don't clean it. Seriously. Don't even breathe on it. Collectors want coins in their natural, untouched state. Cleaning a rare coin is like washing a Picasso with Windex. Just don't. Second, weigh it. Get a cheap gram scale off Amazon. If the weight's off, you might be in business. Third, get it graded. This is key. Contact PCGS or NGC, these are the 2 top grading services. You'll need to send it in, but if your coin comes back with a high grade and confirmation of a rare error or variant, you could be looking at a major payday. Fourth, do your research. Look up recent auction sales. Compare photos. There's a strong online community of collectors and enthusiasts who can help you figure out if you've got treasure or just a shiny distraction. Fifth, be patient. Sometimes these coins take time to sell. But if you market it right and find the right collector, the payout could change your life. So here's the big takeaway, folks. Never underestimate the power of loose change. That 1981 p Washington quarter rattling around in your glove compartment could be worth more than your car. Or your house. Or both. Coins like these remind us that history, rarity, and curiosity can collide to create something magical. And all it takes is a sharp eye, a little knowledge, and the guts to go digging through your spare change. If you found this video helpful or even just entertaining, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next episode. I've got tons more hidden gem coin stories coming your way, ones that could make you rich, or at least give you a good story to tell at your next barbecue.